What's up, everybody? Mike here, and in this video I want to go over all the new details we got about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 that has popped up from Gamescom. There's a bunch of footage online right now showcasing this, and yeah, want to keep you guys up to date about this game because I'm looking forward to this early next year, along with many others as well, and you should know about this game if you don't already. This latest information I'm getting from PCGamers.com site here on it. They report on it. So first up, if you don't know, this game was delayed to February 11th, 2025. Originally was supposed to come out this year, but yeah, they pushed it back to essentially polish it up and get it, together for the full release, basically. So it's a nice polished experience overall and smooth for the players. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, like its predecessor, enjoys a laugh. It is categorically not a comedy, but it has many other qualities of one, specifically those of the bawdier variety. There's a strong lads getting into scraps vibe, so this RPG about a war-torn nation also has a strange amount in common with the likes of The Hangover and The Revenge of the Nerds. It's a peculiar juxtaposition that is extremely entertaining when it works, and extremely awkward when it doesn't. For example, gameplay talked about here is Henry is tasked with the delivery of a message to a noble who has sided with Sigismund. The pair act more like they're on holiday, sauntering through the absolutely stunning Bohemian countryside than on an important business trip. They joke and wind each other up, full of good-natured camaraderie, but they're also a bit pervy. While camping with their retinue, there's a discussion that serves as a subtle character creation system. We're sharing stories, which will let you define your version of Henry. Sends menus and point locations. The conversation is a touch awkward in terms of its writing. Then the conversation turns to Henry's missus, where you get the option to tell all the lads what she's like in bed. Hans then cuts him off before the conversation gets too, crazy, basically. You can opt to be more coy here as well, but it's a jarring moment. Now, on a touchy subject here, when it comes to this game, the life of a woman in the 1400s was pretty terrible. But it's strange how, at least from the demo talked about from Gamescom, presents its female characters as either objects of desire or victims. Details on one scene specifically that essentially shows it does both for the purposes of comedy and shock, and it just keeps happening. Older or less overtly attractive women, meanwhile, are presented as sharp-tongued or crone-like. It's not dissecting the role of women in medieval Europe, it's reinforcing stereotypes. The first game did feature some interesting, complex female characters, and hopefully the same will be true here, but how so far the information has come out about the demo presented at Gamescom with this game and how they present the women in the game, it's definitely gonna be a mixed bag, I would say. Everything goes downhill for Henry and Hans from this point on, mostly naked and armed. They flee the soldiers, while their retinue suffers an even worse fate. Henry takes a tumble, bumps his head, and then begins to have visions of his past. These disturbing hallucinations, where he sees his friends and family murdered, serve as a sort of catch-up for new players, or those who forgot how the first game began. It's dramatic and at times shocking, and you would think at this point, it lets you get into the game proper, basically, but no. There's like more sneaking around in the dark, more near misses, an extended period where the pair must recuperate under the care of an eccentric older woman living in the forest. And this is where the game introduces you or reintroduces you to the alchemy system. So in this game, you'll need to go herb picking, basically, and then use your savior's little lab to create a healing concoction, grinding, mixing, and heating it up to produce the right results. It's all extremely tactile, and one of the better RPG crafting diversions, and is now accompanied by blacksmithing, which uses similar principles. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 tries to strike a balance between making you feel like you're playing an established character and starting a new game by making Henry's injuries reduce his skills. Though not all the way back to his pre-hero days, you're not entirely useless. The progression system is dense. First off, you've got your main attributes, like strength, and each of them has a bevy of associated perks waiting for you to unlock. So the strength tree lets you grab the Hercules perk, which makes you sexier the stronger you are, essentially making you more persuasive. Then you've got your secondary stats that are derived from your main ones, which include things like speed and charisma. You've also got skills like thieving and horse riding, along with combat skills that make you proficient with specific weapons. These also have associated perks and combos. Practice makes perfect. So, if you want to level up these skills and stats, you've got to use them. The dialogue system, specifically when it comes to persuasion, is similarly dense. When trying to talk to people around to your way of thinking, you'll have a bunch of options like threatening violence or being chivalrous. And stats alone aren't the deciding factor. Who you're talking to matters greatly, as does what you're wearing. Quests must be undertaken, work must be done, and coin must be earned. There are different routes to getting an audience with the Lord, and plenty of trouble to get into. And so far, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 essentially comes off as feeling like Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but more. It's larger, confident, and extremely tactile, but maintains the first game's novel juxtaposition of historical drama and slapstick silliness. There's a lot to like here, but also quite a few things that definitely need to be improved upon, from the quality of dialogue and voice acting, as far as how that's polished up and worked on, basically. And hopefully brawls, when it comes to like fisticuffs, slugfest fights, get tweaked to be, not a slog and actually feel more fluid and natural once the game launches next year. This is definitely aiming to be a very immersive RPG overall, just like the first game, and essentially going to give you some more stuff to do here, larger areas to explore, things like that. But yeah, I see why even more now, based on this report and even other reports, why this got delayed. They definitely need to work on some stuff that is considered to be negatives about the game, and some of the, quest structure, combat, basically, and just some other features and things. Definitely they need to probably work on how maybe, I guess, women are portrayed in this game too, not to have it be so stereotypical. But we'll have to wait and see how things go with that as this game's development progresses and the launch happens next year in February. But I'm still, looking forward to this. I've actually never played the first game, so I need to dive into that and see how that goes, see how silly this game gets, really. This is a game that, has no magic in it. It's a realistic, medieval RPG. Very tough, so you got to manage a lot of systems in here, too, once you get used to them. But let me know what you think about this game so far, and if you're excited for it, or if this is going to be like a wait for a sale, or just, going to pass on it based on information so far we learned about, guys. Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up, as it helps a ton. Subscribe if you're new. My name's Mike. Thanks for watching.